Why don't you start a roll? So the roll is, put yourself as number one, first name, last name, and then we'll do phone, and then the fourth thing will be, there'll be two columns, proposal upload, yes, no, and print out a proposal, yes, no. You got that from Jeff? All right, so let me get on to, we'll see where we go from here, what we're doing. We'll see, maybe I'll, marker. So this is Monday, October 29th, 2018, and are these viewed? Dan, can you,
Huh?
is this
Yeah, it's
at the
on.
right point? Is this live? Rob, can you do me a favor and check?
Yeah.
And where's it pointing to? So we see, I should see the board and the screen. Now, what we're supposed to, I don't know, we'll see here, we'll talk about projects today. We'll talk about proposals. And we'll also talk about next step. We'll talk about open source. We'll talk about AI. And we're supposed to have a guest speaker. We'll see if he shows up on app development. And if he comes in, you guys will bring him to task. So, let's see here. Let's see if we can get going. So Jamie, who's in your group?
Kelsey and
What?
Kelsey.
And is Kelsey here coming?
Yeah.
So what is the project?
Our application called Zone Out.
It's called what? Can you speak up a little louder so I can hear you? I need to be mine.
It's our application called Zone Out.
Zone out.
Yeah, just to help you
Some of you I don't think need that help to be zoned out. So what is this drug,
it's like, okay. It's an application that that you download to voluntarily cut off ads in social media and entertainment while you're doing like schoolwork.
okay, so it's supposed to help you concentrate or what?
Yeah, to like focus and like cut out like apps that like
Or that are bothering you,
Yeah.
right? And so what are you, so what's available now?
It's called Self-Control. It's used on Mac products. And it allows users to lock any application out for up to 24 hours, but it isn't allowing users to predetermine what times they need to be blocked off. So
Okay.
for ours, like you can enter like specific times.
Okay. And what other apps are available?
And that's all there is, I think.
So you want to look at what's your competition. You don't want to look at, Jamie, you don't want to look at just one, but you want to be able to look at, you have to figure out that even if it's not exact, what is the closest thing? So put a note for yourself is the first thing that you want to do is look at the competition, and you want to possibly widen your competition. Your competition shouldn't just be one app, Jamie, but think about the others. So what is the problem? Basically, we need to completely define the problem. The problem is what?
Like not being able to focus, like
Not being able to focus on what? On any activity, on basically, so you need to define the problem, if it is one, and then what your solution is, and what then you need to widen. What I would suggest you do is widen your competition. And what's the next step going to be? So what's your next step going to be? Let's just move away the paper. Just let's focus, okay? Me and you, we're focusing here. So we focus here. What I suggest here is let's look at it. What I would do for the next step is look broader. What's the competition? Number one. And the next step, what I'd even like people to do is let's start to crystallize it by a website. And I'm talking to all groups. Everybody hear me? So let's do the next step. Once we've crystallized and I've signed off, is let's do it that we can crystallize it to a website. And you can use any website developer. In the past with my classes, we've used Wix. Anybody used Wix before? W-I-X, right? That makes it look nice. You can look like your designers, but you can use any website development that you want. But let's start off by even for today is Monday. For Wednesday, let's do it that we have like the beginnings, even rough, even start is what's kind of like the title, what's kind of like the mainframe, and you should have for Wednesday, you should have at least what's my team, right? So you can have a page. You writing this down, Jamie?
Yeah.
So the page here, so you can tell Kelsey, the page is then the team. What is my team? So you can get pictures of everybody, right? This is an attractive class, right? You know, we that's one thing about our institution. If you walk around, you know, everybody's looks good, looks important or something. So anyway, so you have your team, you have your pictures here, and then about yourself that it's somewhat professional, and then start looking at a page of what you can start even what's the problem. Even put your proposal in the beginning of the website. We're doing this in an agile environment, right? So that means what? That we'll be fixing it each time as we go along. But if we have something, what's the beauty about agile development is if we have something, what is good is that people can react to it. Your other team members can look at it. You already have your URL. You can see it. In the beginning, it's free. Later on, if we want additional ones, we can worry about it. But we already have something to work on for Wednesday. Okay, so Greta, what are you guys doing?
We're doing that like
Okay, so what's the problem?
that you lose your phone or something,
So speak up louder so I can hear you.
that it's not like secure somehow, like it's not safe somehow.
Okay.
So we're just like trying to figure out.
And your wallet, meaning your wallet of a crypto wallet? Is that what you mean by wallet?
No, we mean like the one that you scan your credit card and you put it in your phone.
Okay, so you're trying to develop then what? You're competing with Apple?
I don't know, but we're just.
Are you competing with Apple Pay? What? Then I don't understand what is the problem? You're saying that if I have a wallet, it's not secure?
No, what we're trying to do is just like,
Tell me here.
yeah.
Understand.
Okay. So what we're trying to do is just like trying to, find, like, how do I say, so we have our cards in our phone, so if we lose the phone or something, we
Yeah.
just want something that, just like lock our phones or something, so people can have like access or.
Don't we have that already?
Yes, so we were just,
So what are you gonna do different? We have that already, right? That I can lock up my phone,
yeah.
right? And then credit cards, even if I've even left a physical credit card somewhere, a lot of credit card companies I can report that it is missing. So I'm not clear on what is unique here.
We still like haven't figured out what we're gonna do different. That-
Well, then you think that's, okay, do you have a class after this?
No.
So stay with me. Who's in your group?
I'm in wrong too.
Okay, okay? You have, because I find that it's hard for me to understand what, and it's for you too. Why am I doing this? I don't want to just do it for sake, okay? So Noah, what's up with your group?
So we're proposing like sort of a place where anyone in the entertainment industry can post their scripts, get connected to other employees throughout the entire chain of the entertainment industry, which is really difficult to enter now.
Right,
So we want to kind of make a space where anyone can post any sort of ideas or kind of get connected to other employees in the industry.
so as a networking platform,
Yeah, kind of like employee.
and so it'll be like job, it'll be like,
Yeah.
I want a gig or what? I'm a band and I want a gig or what?
It'd be kind of through like sharing content, it'd be more like content available, like movies or trailers, things that basically have been maybe like the first episode's been filmed that like needs to be picked up, piloted TV shows, and so it'd be a way for people to like connect and get like funding almost, or create any type of content throughout the world, and it'd be through crypto so that you didn't have to worry about copyright.
Okay, so it will be through blockchain, right?
Yeah,
So it'll be a blockchain underneath. So what's available now?
not really anything.
There are a few websites like that we were looking at that seem slightly similar, but
Okay, so you have to, not even slightly similar, you have to go through and do, second stage is you have to go through a more comprehensive look of what are artists now doing, either to promote their information, is it also for digital rights? Are you looking at that as well?
Yeah, like it could to be acquired through some of those like investors or,
Okay, so another thing, put this note down, is another where you need to do is look for things like blockchain and digital rights, blockchain and music, blockchain and entertainment, right? Are you looking for acting too, right? In entertainment, look at those areas and look at the use case studies. They call them use case studies, because blockchain is very new. It really is kind of in its infancy. So what people have is they have ideas about it, they have cases, but through and through for blockchain, it hasn't been done. So what you need to do is come back to me on this of what is more thorough, what is available now in traditionally what people are, because there's ways in which people, there's ways of matching. If there are websites and there are ways in which people get together and match, or gigs or whatever, if I'm a artist and so forth that I'm going to.
yeah, the other part though is that we wanted to bring in people that were not just trying to create, but people that like are just consumers that want to like watch TV.
Okay,
So
so
that they
looking
can
at what's
kinda-
up and coming.
So that
kind
yeah,
of-
they can kind of like get analytics based on of like what people would like to see that's like up and coming.
Yeah, okay. So let's do that, and let's for Wednesday, come up at least with a skeleton website, but I wanna see more on, maybe even a section of use cases with blockchain. And then once you find out the use cases of blockchain, then you can go and differentiate yourself on how you're gonna add to this, how you're gonna be different. Okay? All right. So who else am I missing? So AJ, where are you guys doing?
We were pretty like set on what we were doing. We came up with a name, we're calling it Rocket Fuel
Rocket Fuel?
Trading.
Rocket Fuel Trading, sounds good, okay? We can, TM it and get a website and everything,
And
okay?
then
So
we're
we got
also-
that,
We added something else. Like,
okay? And so, are you gonna do Ninja Trader 2 or just Excel or what
we're
do
gonna
we
use
decide?
Ninja Trader, kinda like to check it with it. Like,
Okay.
But like, do some stuff on Ninja Trader and see like how well it goes with ours, and then we're gonna make ours like we haven't gotten into like the details of how we're gonna make it unique, but we've been like, just like working around Excel, like the features.
Okay, okay, so let's start something for Wednesday. Let's start even with just a website of pointing out what's available now. I was always thinking with you guys, it'd be good as a team of services, but then getting people almost like a crowdsourcing and getting others to maybe put up their strategies, or do you wanna make it, and then this way you can get from people that have more experience with you to be parts of it, and find out ways in which you can do remuneration for people. Okay. So Jackie, what's up with yours? Or what have we done different? Where are we and what's going on?
So what we did was, we added forecasting to
Okay.
what we were gonna do, as
Uh-huh.
we spoke to you and you told us to do that.
Right,
So yeah, right now, we're coming up with a name, we're doing a little bit of research. We actually all sat down together yesterday and did a little bit of research on what's available online. And what we came up with was that there's a lot of, websites and formulas that are available, but it's not simple at all. Like, you have to watch a 30-minute, 10-minute, 20-minute video.
so how are you gonna be different?
So what we're trying to do is make quick forecasting videos and also have formulas, like for what you wanna search, you can just click like, alright, I wanna do like dates in order, and we just have a formula there set
Oh, okay.
previous. So it's simple, quick, and people can learn quickly.
Okay. All right, so, and Evan, what can you say?
Well, I think we decided to focus more on the financial aspect of Bitcoin and then, you know, how we could utilize, blockchain with, to the financial aspect of it.
Mhm.
So, I explained, you know, how today, you know, even, you know, there's so much paperwork with, bank, you know, everyone thinks, people are streamlining things online, but that's not really the case, like right now. There's still a lot of paperwork being done that needs to be filed that could delay, projects by weeks, months, or even like years.
Mhm.
So, you know, one way we could use the blockchain to like streamline that is, maybe through loans. We're still stuck on loans, I don't know. I think it's a good
Loans
idea.
loans being what?
Loans being that we could do syndicated loans through the blockchain network. And, last class, we had that guest speaker who was explaining to us, you know, how we track blockchain, how you could track it back to the person who mined it, to who that person gave the Bitcoin to, and so on and so forth. So we could use that in, you know, with loans, because, you know, if we have a whole bunch of people investing into this one idea through the blockchain network,
Yeah,
we could have, that we could track how that, you know, that loanee is using, that money for your investment. You follow?
so what's the problem? I'm a customer and I wanna get a loan, is that it?
Yeah, so, I mean, today you could go on to, or even for the person lending, that's a good platform. It's as much for the lender as it is for the person taking the loan. So I now have a platform that I could easily loan out a small amount of money and perhaps make some type of interest
Okay,
on.
you remember when I was telling you before, there was what did I call it? There was like, MOIP or something. Yes?
Not
No?
in a
Okay.
substantial manner.
Okay, so the answer's no.
Oh, well, I did.
Did you or did you not?
I did,
Oh,
but
you
I
did,
didn't,
and
I
then
didn't
what
look,
did you find?
yeah.
And is that what you wanna do, or did, or I'm making
Along,
this
along
wrong?
the lines of that, yes.
What?
Yes, along the lines of that, pretty much.
So what I would do is, why don't you go to that website, look at that, program, and then try to figure out what they're doing, look at their competitors, plus them, and find out how you can improve it, or do something different to that. 'Cause it seems like he's basically, do you understand what he's doing?
Pretty much, yes. Just-
Yes?
Yes.
What did he say?
Yes.
Yes, he does, so they're, basically how I understood what they were doing. Is they were taking Bitcoin as collateral. So if I had Bitcoin, I'd give you a loan, but you'd use Bitcoin as collateral. That's not what you want, is it? Or that is?
Well, I mean, I know we went over it last class, that we could improve that. It's not exactly what I was thinking, but, you know, my idea was concrete or whatever, but, yeah, I guess
Yeah, I guess what?
we could improve on that.
Do you have class after this, then?
No.
Why don't we meet together? What do you think about that idea?
Okay.
And we'll, since I'm part of the group here, and we'll figure out, what we need to do, okay? Because it seems a little bit, fuzzy for me, and we can do it, okay? Let me screen share. You always have issues. I'm having issues on broadcasting. Share. Now, anybody hear of the Steam It platform? Anybody hear about it? Go ahead and Google Steam It platform blockchain and figure out what it is. Everybody understand? What did I say to do?
Google Steam It blockchain.
Steam It, blockchain, purpose, figuring out what it's supposed to do. What did we find? Anybody? What did we find? Anybody? What did we find? Matt, did you find something?
I have not.
Okay. So who found? Jamie, what did you find?
It's a blogging and social networking website. It's a new way for publishers to monetize their online content.
Monetize. This is, and go ahead, you're on a roll, very nice. What else?
It's a new way for publishers to monetize their online content and community based on battle-tested blockchain technology.
Okay. Good. So, where I'm posting are links when I, post, and let me just go to, at this point, if I, am posting, let me see here, I have too many. Okay, so, it basically, Steemit is a platform. You see here, you see this link here? This link is the YouTube link. Let me copy it. And then I'm gonna minimize it, and I'll go to Google. Go right here, I'll put the link here. And then I'll call this the long URL. Long URL. This is for somebody when we're gonna invite to participate. And then I'll have another one called the short URL. And I'm gonna just copy it here, copy it again, I'm just gonna cut this off. Right here. I'm gonna backspace. YouTube. And then I'll, make another one right here. And then I'm gonna post it. What somebody did is they said they created coins called Steemits, and if you're promoted and you blog, you get Steemits, and their Steemits are your currency. So if you go to this URL, right, and I click here, you understand? So anytime you want to, and you can share this, you can share the link, and you can also see and I created a channel called Steemit.com at the Psycho, and you can always see then our live broadcasts based on the date. You can see us broadcasting here. And Steemit then, if you're promoted, you get currency. So that's how they're being rewarded, and they're setting this up. And the Steemits are are traded. So this is kind of an interesting project that they tried. And then the more you blog and the more people are interested in your blogs, then you get Steemits rather than their blockchain currencies. Okay? So this is what we had. So if I go to courses now, and you can go to courses with me, I log in. Right, I'm gonna go to our DTE audit area. We have then the course documents, and we should have all our groups, right? And which group who hasn't talked about their group? So is everybody, so group 7, Cameron, Madison, I know it's not here, Michael and Ben, is anyone here from that group?
Yeah.
So what's up?
We decided there's a lot of regulation issues in casinos, especially now with the rising, laws for gambling to be, legal and stuff, so we decided to make an app for regulating transactions made for, through crypto with, casinos.
Mm-hmm.
Because we feel that a lot of people aren't too happy with the way casinos handle money and transactions and specific things, and there's all these regulations, and a lot of times people think that they're getting like gypped or something, but with the crypto, there would be no like confusion.
Whose idea was this?
Well, it was mostly Michael's, but like for our majors also, like it kind of has to do with my major,
Okay.
and like I can
Do
definitely.
you
see-
know about casinos at all?
Well, that's where Michael comes in.
Michael's the gambler?
He's the gambler.
Of the group, okay. All right, so, and you have it printed out?
Yes.
Okay, so let's start for Wednesday, at least do a skeleton for me. Okay, so we can see it. My only concern is that we need to know what's happening in the, in the casino business and what's available and what,
Yeah.
cause I see,
Michael's definitely more.
see,
in the
cause I'm
know.
not, that's not my area, it's casino, back end.
What exactly needs to be in the skeleton?
The skeleton is what you're basically taking your proposal and put it
Oh,
into
just
your,
a little lengthier.
a lengthier, basically in putting it so we can look at it on a website, and then you can put your team there, okay? So at least start with that, okay. So I have, this, what else? And, William and Spiros, what's group 14 I have? Yes, no? What's going on?
We're doing a website or an app, like easy to use, and it just would be to help people calculate real estate things like gross operation income, net operating income.
Can you speak up so I can hear you?
Just different calculations that would be quick and easy for real estate investment. And the app, like things like gross operation income, net operating income, cap rate.
And they'll be using it for what?
What?
And you'll be just having formula, what is
Yeah,
this?
we would have, well, it would be something that they put in the numbers, we calculate to get the, you know what I mean? Like it does the calculation.
So what's the
for-
problem?
If
That-
you're looking to get like, to find out the net operating income of a company or your company or something.
Okay, I want my net operating income of my company, what will I have to do? What will this website know about my company?
You would have to put in the necessary numbers for it to calculate it.
And why wouldn't my accounting system do that, give me my net operating income?
Well, it doesn't have to, well, I mean, I guess if you're the owner, but if you were looking at other companies.
Well, how would I know if I'm looking at a company, let's say I look at a sandwich store
Yeah.
that I'm considering buying, how would I know any of their figures to put in?
Annual reports from the last year.
It's a publicly traded company, but wouldn't they tell me my net income? You guys, you have class after this? Let's sit and talk, because I don't understand what the problem is and how this is gonna be different from an accounting system, so let's work on it. Who else haven't I spoken to? Okay. All right, right. Okay. So what is Norman saying here? I'm stuck on the road, my car has a flat tire, look at this, huh? Look at Norman, huh? My deepest apologies. So where is Norman? I'm stuck on the road, I'm on Lake Worth, okay, good. So Norman's not coming, okay, good. You tried. You tried, we got it. Right, anyway, so did he send it to Rob too?
Yeah.
Right, did you check, okay, so he's not, okay, we were wondering where he was, okay, so let's go back. We didn't have time for him anyway, so we'll go to him next time. It'd be better, we'll reschedule and Norman will come when we have our websites, then we can work with him on our app, okay, so we got that. All right, now let's go to the regular BTE 210 then. Let's go to, web links. And go all the way down to this. This was today. Anybody hear about this? Who did? So Cameron, what did you hear about?
I only heard that IBM was buying them. I honestly didn't really hear anything.
Okay. Why Red Hat's open source cloud is IBM's game changer. Isn't this great? Aren't you excited, Jamie? Aren't you excited about this? You just, had you known about it, would have put a smile on your face in the morning, maybe. Okay, so basically, we got to figure out why this made Bloomberg October 29th, 9:26 a.m. And do anybody know who she is? What do you think she is? Cameron, do you know?
I didn't see.
Oh, okay. Anyways, it was the CEO of IBM, one of the few women in Fortune 500 companies. And how is IBM's this one right here, Cameron?
Oh, yes, I know.
Okay, and that's not Jim Whitehurst. The guy on the left is Jim Whitehurst, and IBM purchased Red Hat for a mere $34 billion. So why and what happened? How's IBM stock? AJ, how's IBM stock done for the past year and past 6 months? So look at what? Huh?
It was doing pretty well up until like a few weeks ago.
All right, but how's it done in the past? Let's go. IBM, let's work it out together. IBM, how's it done in the past 6 months, the past year? What do we find out? Everybody signed up? Okay. How they done? Yeah. You signed up, guys?
They're declining.
They're declining. How much?
They were at 153 and now they're at 124.
124. How'd they do today?
Today,
Through this deal?
They lost 5 points,
What percentage?
4%.
4%. A day is not, so basically the market says this deal doesn't look so good. Either they overspent, right? Huh?
Well, stocks always lose
Right.
market value when they buy cash.
Yeah, right. So, but the market wasn't, they always do, but how much, by how much? And that's the question. How did Red Hat do?
It went up by like 45%.
45%. We would have been better off being in Red Hat today, right?
Okay.
Or getting shares of Red Hat. So my question to you is, Cameron, is what is Red Hat? And this was pretty good that IBM's $33 billion purchase of Red Hat, the world's second largest technology deal ever, shifts the competitive landscaping for cloud computing and the open movement known as open source. So what is Red Hat? Shannon, what is Red Hat?
It makes open source software.
Good, it makes open source software. So how much is open source software cost?
It's free.
It's free. So why pay for free software? Why pay $34 billion for something free?
It doesn't, they get their money from charging subscriptions.
It's basically, it's a software platform, and what can I say then? Caleb, what can I say? Caleb, what can I say? It's open source, so why are they spending $34 billion, you think?
You can sell their data.
What?
You can sell their data.
Well, it's basically what they do is services. If we're an enterprise, and we're gonna say, we want, and it's based on what operating system? Linux. It's based on the operating system Linux. So what would they be using? Instead of Mac OS or Windows, enterprises would be using Linux, and a version of Linux is called Red Hat. And if they want to install that, and if they want to use it in their corporation, they need help. So it's software services that they're selling. Rather than their data, they're selling services. And what does IBM do? IBM has clients, and what do? They sell software services. So they think that this is a way. So much of Red Hat's business is Linux Basic OS. It's an operating system based on Linux, and it offers infrastructure services for companies that manage private or public cloud. What does that mean? They manage private or public cloud services. This is a good open-ended question for us for next time. So what does it mean, private or public cloud services? AJ, what's the difference between a private or a public cloud?
Anybody can access the public cloud, only the people within that network can access the private cloud.
Well, if I'm on a public cloud, I still have my own, password user. So let's think where we could do it. We could be a public cloud. We could be Blackboard, right? We go on to Blackboard.
Dropbox, maybe.
What?
Dropbox.
Yeah, they're public, but I have my own password, I have my own domain there. The private is that they allow more security, and they may not have it just an open internet connection, but sometimes what we call a virtual private network. Put this in your notes then. VPN is a virtual private network that does not go through the traditional internet protocols. So it's open source. Why pay Red Hat? Notice it's, how much does it cost? A Linux operating system, how much did I say it costs? Shannon? Zero. But notice here, Red Hat made $823 million in its most recent quarter, majority through subscriptions. And this brings IBM with its software clients. So it basically allows onto the cloud. And why is, this is nice, and this is kind of like part of our chapters, why is cloud computing such a big deal? That it can, instead of hosting on premises, I can host it by other providers. And who are the biggest, if you were asked who were the biggest cloud service providers, they would be, number one would be whom?
Amazon.
Amazon is number one, right? Who else is big in the field?
Microsoft.
Microsoft. Who else? And then basically we can say Google's getting into that field, and even Oracle, which is a database provider, and Oracle is getting into the cloud. IBM, they're now saying in the future it's a business worth billions of dollars, because everybody now wants to take their services that they've had on premise, they want to bring it to the cloud. They don't want to have it physically there. And then they talk about a hybrid cloud unit, and a hybrid is mixed with built for only one client versus it's public. So it's a combination of the two. And why does IBM need it? Initially, basically, they said they didn't get the cloud business, and this is why they wanted to continue with that. So, for Wednesday, I want to do two things. First of all, where are your, what we'll do is, today I want to end early. I definitely need to see how many groups I want, then I can see them, Evan and Dan, and then you guys will do it, and who else? And Greta will hone it in, because I want it to be good, and I don't want everybody, when we're vague here, we can do it. And Jamie, you're okay with what, we need to broaden it and figure out who are more of our competitors. The idea is good, but we can figure it out. So what I'd like to do is I think I'm all right with signing off with everyone else. So for Wednesday, let's do this, and you can even start working now or virtually, is that first thing is I'd start off with a skeleton, taking that proposal, let's do a skeleton just of a website. So we can see that on Wednesday. Tomorrow, there's a conference called, if you're interested, and I'll put it up, type in Unbound Miami. Unbound Miami. Anybody hear about this? This is a conference that's Tuesday and Wednesday. And do we have an agenda here? Let me just go back to the agenda here. This is the agenda they have in here. Fostering culture of innovation, panel breaking innovation barriers, keynote on the neuroscience, new roads to growth, keynote innovating intersections of suits and sweatshirts, an elevator with, panel embracing AI and machine learning at noon. I'll be speaking on that. An elevator panel ride, and it goes till 5, I think, and then the next day. If you're interested, I can get you free tickets. So, panel on 305, Beyond Cryptopia, building the blockchain, and Katja Fisher, she's an attorney, she'll be joining us in a couple of weeks in this class, who's also an attorney. What did you think? Jason was good, no?
Yeah.
I thought he was excellent. He really knows his stuff. So Katya's pretty good too. She's coming. So we'll do this and an elevator. So if you're interested, Columbia. Anybody been to Columbia, the country, right? It's big. They're big. They're coming the whole. They're bringing, I think,
The whole country's coming.
a number of programmers from Columbia that will be there, and you can see here. If you're interested, let me know, and I'll give you a link to get a free pass to this event. Okay, so the group.
sign these?
Yeah, let me sign off. Give me a pen, and I'll sign off on each of these. Bring a pen.